Hi, Meg here again. Welcome to our channel. As I mentioned in my prior video, this is our channel. This is because this channel was created with you in mind. The reason why I started a channel is because of you. You who have gone through this craziness of narcissists and you have all these questions that you wish you can understand why or hear someone who can relate. That is why I call it your channel. And before I continue, I would request you to please subscribe, hit the subscribe button. That way you'll be able to know every time I post new videos. On our last video, I concluded on a note that how did I end up with a narcissist? Why am I or was I with a narcissist? The very first reason to why you are with a narcissist is because you're an empath. Chances are you've heard or read about an empath, and for that reason I'm not going to go in depth about or talking about an empath. Today I will just give a brief definition. This is a dictionary definition, and it says an empath is a person with paramental ability to apprehend the mental or emotional state of another individual. Empaths are highly attuned to other people's moods, both good and bad. They feel and absorb other people's emotions because of their high sensitivity. In short, empaths are people who feel people's emotions, and not only do they feel it, they also absorbs them. That means that if in the same room with you is hurting, you will hurt. If they're hurting in the chest, you will feel it right on that spot. If they are hurting because of a loss, you will feel it. We feel the pain of others exact the same way they are feeling it. This right here works against us because we don't know how to use or control our emotions. But if you learn how to use and control your emotions, you will find that you have a very beautiful, I would call it, gift. The minute you know how to control your emotions, it is the best thing that can ever happen. So the number one reason to why you're with a narcissist is because you're an empath. Number two, sensitivity, or due to the fact that you can feel as others feel. Deep in you, you get this deep desire of helping. You feel like because you can tell exactly how they feel, you can exactly be able to fix the issue. So we have this deep desire to want to help. Helping is not bad. Nothing is wrong with helping. The problem is that because we don't know our limits, once we start helping, we can go too far, and most of the time we get misused. You will hear many people say, oh, how we have users. We have users because we go above and beyond. Okay, an empath, a fellow empath will tell you to stop, or like they wouldn't let you go too far. But users, oh, they will let you exhaust yourself. Narcissist is the number one user, and that is why they are with you, because they can use you all the way. You will never get tired of helping, of going and going. They love that. This is number three. Empaths are so sympathetic. We are full of empathy and sympathy. Narcissists love sympathy. They love someone who can sympathize with them, but they do that in the wrong way because they use sympathy. They want to be sympathized with so that they can use you. They use sympathy to manipulate. They manipulate situations. If they need favor, they act like they need sympathy because they know you will sympathize and give in. For instance, if there's something they need, okay, they will start throwing all that, all those things that you will sympathize with, oh, I can't even do this because I don't have that. If only I could have this, I would be able to do. But if you want, you can do it for me because you are able to. Majority of the time it's not because they cannot, but they don't want responsibilities. This is mostly seen in the financial area. So many empaths talk of how they are in debt because of narcissists. And some people who don't understand narcissists will ask you, how did you even give in to that? They use sympathy. They made you be sympathetic, and you ended up committing on a huge thing for their sake. They made you think it's for both of you, but at the end of the day, the responsibility is yours. So the fact that they can use you through the sympathy, because you're so sympathetic, that is why they are attracted to you. Number 4, empaths are loving, extremely loving. Once we love, we adore, and we respect. The combination of those 3 translate as worship. The fact that no matter what they do to you, you will still love, adore, and respect them. And they will do anything to keep you, because that is the number one thing they want. They want to be worshipped, and you give them that feeling of worship by loving, adoring, and respecting them. As an empath, you are very transparent and obedient. Once we think we've trusted somebody, an empath will open up. Nobody can tell what is in your head until you speak it out. So the more you are transparent, the more you are exposing yourself to the narcissist. A narcissist uses the information that you gave them to manipulate you. They manipulate you because they know you will obey. Whatever the narcissist tells you to do, you will obey. And they learned that you can do that through your transparency. You are not, from the first day the narcissist settles with you, they already start plotting against you. They look at you as something to use, but you look at them as a spouse. They are in there for whatever they can get from you, for your capabilities. You're capable of doing things that they want you to do. So the information you give them, they know what to tell you to do. And no matter how your heart wants you that is not the right thing, you will do it anyway. And sometimes you even ask yourself, why did I even give in to that? Because that a narcissist will instruct us not to question, just obey without questioning. And guess what? We do it. And again, this goes back to where I mentioned about limits. We have a big problem when it comes to limits. We go above and beyond, and we don't have limits. The last reason why a narcissist is with you, or you are with a narcissist, or a narcissist is attracted to you, is because of the high tolerance. Empaths have extremely high tolerance. The meaning of high tolerance in dictionary says capability to endure pain and hardship. You endure too much crap, if I can call them that. You put up with a lot of bad behavior and habits. The reason why you do this is, as an empath, with your empathy and your desire to help, you continuously have this feeling of whatever the issue is, you can fix, and all you need is time. Whatever is wrong or whatever bad habits the narcissists have, you can help them fix them. Let's say they have alcohol issue, they have issue with finances, whatever problem they are going through, You try to work with them, believing that they will change, you'll be able to fix them, and also believing that they will change. And until the day you learn and realize that they do not change, that is the day you'll be looking for this kind of videos. That's all that I have for today. But I want to mention this. You may wonder why, how come that I fall for all these? And both empaths and narcissists, in a tender age as childhood, they were both exposed to some kind of abuse. This abuse created some wounds in you. You have some trauma wounds. The way it was presented to you due to your tender age, you did not record as abuse. You recorded it as the way of living. But in you, it hurts. And those wounds, because they were not attended to, your coping mechanism, it made you end up being either a narcissist or an empath. As an empath, your coping mechanism was pleasing. Whatever kind of abuse you were going through, you felt like if you make the person who is putting you in the emotional pain, if you can make them happy, if you can please them, the pain will ease. They will not inflict the pain. And that is how you end up, no matter what is happening to you, you believe in trying so hard, and you try, instead of getting out of the situation that is hurting you, you try to fix it. You try to please the person that is hurting you, and believing that they will change. You can do all these things in a healthy way, though. Once you identify how you were abused as a child, this is an area some of us struggle with, because whatever we grew up believing is abuse is violence and craziness. Some of the abuse came in a very subtle way that we don't even realize we were abused as children. Manage your limits. If you can know how to do things with a limit, you can be able to do all these things that are affecting you in a healthy way. I am not a clinician or a therapist. My recordings are for educational, personal empowerment only after experiencing emotional abuse.